For over 30 years, a small theater company in Uzbekistan has combined a rare artistic vision with daring social commentary. The Ilkhom Theatre's visually stunning portrayals of universal themes have captured the attention of the world. In the spring of 2008, Ilkhom's actors came to Seattle to perform 2 of their original plays and to share their art with students at the University of Washington School of Drama.
Представьте себе
First new exercise.
художника.
Imagine that you're a painter.
Перед вами чистый лист бумаги.
Before you is a canvas, clean white canvas.
Поскольку мы актеры и должны думать неординарно,
So as far as we are actors and we must think in an unordinary way,
поэтому в нашем понимании у нас кисть.
for us,
Это
our
есть
paintbrush
палитра, а это есть кисть. Перед нами лист
and our
бумаги.
palette will be our
И мы
feet.
должны рисовать. Это упражнение на воображение
One
и
foot
тоже
is
на
the paintbrush,
пластику.
the other foot is my palette.
The class is called Plastics. It's all about movement.
Пластика в искусстве актера — это
Plastic in the art of the actor. It's the plastical expression of the actor, yeah? We could say physical expression. And also the plastical thought of the actor. It's learning to think in an unordinary way, not like all people, like average people,
а мыслить очень интересно, фантазировать,
but to
придумывать.
start to think and invent and fantasize in a very interesting and more unusual way.
A lot of movement too is about your body and being aware of muscles that you're usually not used to using. So painting with your feet and having only one balance point being your rear end to stabilize yourself is very, very difficult. And especially when your canvas is about 2 meters by 2 meters wide, so it's interesting.
Следующее упражнение, которое нам сегодня пригодится.
The next exercise that we must come to today.
Sedullah Moldahanov is an actor and a master teacher with the Ilkhom Theatre Company in Tashkent, Uzbekistan.
If I said for myself that I am a sugar cube, and someone starts to pour water on top of me, I slowly melt, yes? This is the exercise
расслабление
on
мышц.
physical memory, on relaxation of muscles.
Сейчас мы вот в этом положении просто попробуем растаять.
Right now, we'll just try from this position to melt.
Начали.
Begin.
Ilkhom's drama school has an exchange program with the University of Washington in Seattle.
What we all notice at the Ilkhom when American students coming to us, that the students from America, they are more, we call them more organic. They're more natural. I feel that they're like these sponges. They're ready to take everything. They really want to learn.
I really want our actors to not only get the best training that we can give them, but to expose them to, at least give them the example of idealism, of what's possible, what has been possible, and what certain people have done with the theater in the world, which can be a life-changing event, a life-changing force in the world, and should be.
Понимаете, потом
Remember, we're not
я
sugar,
должен
we're
обязательно
actors that are
видеть
making
лицо,
sugar.
глаза,
It's very
страдания.
important that we
Нравится
see
мне
your
это,
face,
не
your
нравится.
eyes, yeah?
Понимаете?
What's your relationship
Вы
to
все
melting?
опустили
Do I
лица, и
like
все, я вижу
melting, do I
только
not
тела.
like melting?
Sedullah explains that everything actors do must be full of understanding, full of intent, full of feeling. Their physical acting should be thought in motion.
Well, it's important that the actor doesn't come to the stage empty, yeah?
Быть
He's got to think. He's got to bring something with him. He's got to be full of interest. An example.
Допустим, актеру дается задание
If the actor's given a task,
пройти и сесть на стул.
just to simply walk and sit on the chair,
Плохой актер, он просто пройдет и сядет на
the
стул.
bad actor, he will just simply walk and sit on the chair.
Хороший актер принесет несколько вариантов, 1000 вариантов,
The
как
good actor will find
прийти к этому стулу, как
different variants.
подойти,
He'll
как
find 1,000
сесть,
different variants
как
of how
не
to come
сесть.
to this
А
chair,
может быть, не
about
сесть
how
на этот стул,
just to
а
step
рядом
to it,
сесть.
how to sit on it, how to sit in a different way, maybe not even to sit on it, but sit near it. And the same way with any object or with any partner.
Это вот куб.
So this cube,
Но это не куб.
it's a cube, but it's not a cube.
Это для простых людей он куб, а для нас, для актеров,
For
это не
simple
куб.
people, this is a cube. For
Все
actors,
что угодно,
this
но
is
не
anything.
куб.
Anything in the world, but not a cube.
Today I had a really good, sort of like a breakthrough moment, an aha moment in using props to help convey character and giving props character. And that's something I don't think we focus on as much as focusing on ourselves, but giving in that sort of a way, not to a scene partner, but to an object, an inanimate object, and giving it life is something I really enjoyed discovering today.
Groups of students from the University of Washington have traveled to Tashkent to study drama. This is the first time that teachers from the Ilkhom School have come to Seattle.
We are privileged to have 3 of the master acting teachers. All of the instructors, they keep stressing that everything you do, you have to fully be there, you have to fully commit, and you have to commit every moment, every time, even if it's just practice or class, because it all adds up.
And now we will go again, like yesterday, to articulation, to diction, already working with consonants and combining them with vowels. So first, let's fall down ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba.
The second of Ilkhom's visiting master teachers is Maxim Tumenov. He's the company manager, as well as the organizer for international tours. He's been with Ilkhom since he was 16 years old, almost from the moment he decided to be an actor.
I saw a production called Tortilla Flat by John Steinbeck. And something was so thin and so strange in this production, which completely changed my way of thinking. Breath. I just came home in the evening and I said to my mom that I'm not going to be the businessman anymore. I want to be the actor. Everyone feels the difference between k and g.
Maxime is teaching a workshop on elocution.
We're trying to show the tools we use to train the voice, to train the diction and articulation of the actor. So we're using, here on this workshop, I'm using 2 different methods. One method is going from Moscow schools, and we use some tools from St. Petersburg school because they have a little bit different directions, but the result is always the same, of course. So now when we say this, the explosive sound, which is b and p, they're explosive, they like explosion on the lips. So exaggerated, do it too much, like just shoots out. Like beep, 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 bopo, boopu, bapa, beep, with very active work of the lips together. Okay? Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep.
Ba 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 ba. I don't know. That's something I'll take away and probably will never forget. Ba 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 ba. Okay. Elocution, it's important.
I think I'll take away a lot of new concepts, and it's already started to change the way I think about how I act and things. And so, I mean, I'll certainly integrate some of the exercises that we've done into my own work and training. And really, I mean, one of the biggest things I've taken away is just how much respect they have for it, and how that needs to be kind of internalized by everybody who does it.
They're absolute fierce individuals. Each actor in that company is their own person, and they're really vividly different. But they all join together to work on a common thing, and that individuality gets put into a communal effort. And that combination is very powerful too. It changes chemistry in whatever space they're in.
Волей-неволей появляется.
Ilkhom Theatre Company was created in the mid-1970s when Uzbekistan was still part of the Soviet Union. From the beginning, Ilkhom was an independent theater, the first under the Soviet system.
In Soviet time, it was a complete nonsense. So it was impossible. How independent theater in the country where everything is controlled by the government. But it's appeared like that, and that was the principle of the company from the very beginning, not to be under the censorship.
Ilkhom's independent spirit was established by its founder and artistic director, Mark Weil. He was a visionary with great talent and strong leadership skills.
In addition to being a great artist, he was an entrepreneur. He knew how to go and talk to foundations and foundations in Europe and foundations in America and partnerships here and there so that his company could do the kind of work that he wanted to do.
Ilkhom is a repertoire theater, running as many as 16 shows regularly. One has been playing for 28 years, the newest for only 1 year. There's a lot of variety.
The repertoire of the company is really, really different, and it takes from Russian classical to American classics to modern Russian plays and modern European plays.
They did a production of a gutsy play called Happy Beggars, which is a commedia-inspired, very physical, wonderful comic political parable. And that is very big and very open and very theatrical production. And then they have other pieces which are very quiet, spoken, internal, psychological pieces that just require the actors to be extremely real.
Remember, we're working on attention,
С энергией,
on our body,
чувство партнера.
working with energy, working with a partner.
Сразу говорю, что сегодня будет очень сложное и странное упражнение на чувство партнера.
Today we're going to start with a very difficult and strange exercise on feeling and working with the partner.
Boris Gaforov, the third visiting master teacher, has been filling the role of artistic director at Ilkhom since the death of Mark Weil. Mark's death was a terrible blow to the theater company, but they're determined to continue his vision.
И вот эта энергия этого человека, эта сила и талант
And
этого
the
человека
energy and talent of Mark Weil
продолжает объединять нас
continues
всех
to unite all of these people
и дает нам силы продолжать его детище, его театр.
and gives us the strength to continue his creation, his theater.
Мне просто в удовольствие ходить в этой энергии, в единой энергии, созданной нами.
Enjoy walking in this energy, this one united energy that we've created.
Я чувствую, как она входит в меня, и она мне дает силы.
I feel how this energy comes into me and gives me power.
Еще быстрее.
Even quicker.
Не сталкиваемся и
We're
чувствуем
not bumping into
пространство.
each other. Feel the space, feel the partners.
Стоп! Точка! Соберите свою энергию.
Concentrate your energy.
Не думайте мозгами,
Gather
как
your
ее делать.
energy.
Все, я точка и
Don't think
все.
about
Моя
how to do
энергия
it with
это
your
точка.
brains. I'm the point, the single solitary point, and that's all, nothing more.
Вселенная.
The universe.
In his workshop, Boris explains an openness, an absolute freedom that is far from intuitive for most people.
Потому что мы уже подключили какие-то еще другие свои ресурсы, да, не просто видеть друг друга,
We started to turn
не
on
просто слышать шаги
some
друг
different
друга.
resources, yeah?
Мы
Not simply
использовали
just to see each other, not
какую-то
simply just to
нашу
walk.
энергию. Уже
But we start to use our
другие
energy.
чувства, другие сенсоры какие-то.
We start to
наши
use
были.
different sensors, different feelings.
Но это действительно очень сложный процесс.
It's a very difficult process.
В жизни быть открытым
To be open in life
очень сложно,
is very difficult
потому что реалии жизни заставляют нас закрываться.
because real life forces us to be more closed.
Потому что очень в жизни много негативной энергии.
Because there's a lot of negative energy in life.
Окей. Разбились по парам.
Break up into pairs. But in the actor's profession, there's no other way to exist. To be open, to trust the partner that you're on the stage with, and to be open with these feelings and these ideas that are going to help develop your hero, your character on the stage, and to make them your own, to dig into them, to live in them, and to believe in them.
А чтобы эта вера была полной и настоящей,
And so that this belief will be complete and real,
нужно открыть свое сердце
you've got to open your heart
по направлению к этим чувствам и к этим идеям, которые заложены в тексте автора.
You've got to open your heart in the direction of these feelings and ideas which are given in the text of the author.
И мы идем к этому путем упражнений.
And we come to this through a series of exercises.
И начинаем изучать друг друга.
And begin to study each other. In the first order, it's to learn to be open yourself, you yourself. And for this, we learn just to really see each other, and not to fear the glance of a different person. And for this, we have to also use some kind of invisible possibilities.
Постарайтесь видеть невидимые нюансы, маленькие детали.
Try to see the invisible nuances, unnoticeable, the little details about your partner. We put a lot of emphasis and pay attention to this invisible aspect of the actor's profession.
Как энергия человека.
And this is the energy of a human being.
You're given the task to intricately and intimately study what they look like, their nuances, their flaws, things that you haven't discovered about them before. You know, I was working with a peer of mine, Hannah, who I see in the hallway every day, and, you know, kind of given the chance to just stare at her and see all these things that perhaps I'd missed. And then the next step further in this is to be willing, for instance, to look into her eyes and kind of see if I could read what was back there.
I really felt like I could just see sort of like what this person had been through during that day. I could almost get images of, you know, what that person's thoughts were and their mood and just their general state of being and their beliefs, and just like it was much deeper than I would have expected just looking into someone's eyes.
This exercise grows out of itself based on what we have just done.
Стоят два человека друг напротив друга.
Two people standing, clean and neutral, looking at each other.
Но теперь эта энергия, которая возникает между ними,
And now this energy that starts to develop between the two of them, this grows up some kind of fantasy, some kind of imagination, and some kind of wish.
вот не от мозгов, а от сердца.
It shouldn't come from the brain. I shouldn't think of it here. It should come from here, from the heart.
И вот эта цепочка действий,
And this
рожденных ниоткуда,
chain of
ниоткуда,
actions
а от просто
born out
какой-то
of
энергии.
nowhere, born only out of this energy between two people.
Я не знаю, что это может быть. Это и есть момент рождения наших желаний, момент импровизации.
This is the moment of the birth of our energy, the moment of the beginning of improvisation.
Сейчас просто посмотрим, что из этого.
Now let's just watch
А потом
and see what happens.
попробуем.
One of the hardest things to learn is not to act, but simply to be.
It is hard, you know? It is hard to just be, honestly, not put on a show. You get actors all the time, their line is yes, and they're sitting there, yes, 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 yes. You know, and it's really important, I think, to just be able to peel all this artifice away, and I think that is priceless, absolutely.
It's nice to be on the stage and not be restricted for a couple of moments with text or with given circumstances, and to just be free to discover something, to have something happen, to just not have any idea what's going to happen, and to be with someone you trust to do that. And that's really something that every actor wants to get in their body as much as possible, just to feel that sense of anything could happen in this moment. I don't have any restrictions. You know, I don't know what will happen. Something incredible might happen. I might just stand here for a while. Who knows, right?
Ну, когда мы вчитываемся в пьесу,
Well, when we're studying the play,
мы должны понять
we
общее желание
have to
характера.
understand the general wish of the character, which defines his whole existence within the play. It's a wish of revenge, perhaps.
Желание любви и быть любимым.
Maybe a wish of love or to be loved.
Имеет свое желание.
Every scene within this big picture, every scene has its own wish.
Но эти все желания все равно ради этого одного
But
основного.
all of these wishes anyways are contributing. They're for the sake of this main wish.
Ну хорошо, вот смотри, у тебя замечательно рожденное первое желание — увидеть глаза человека.
Your first wish
Желание.
was very, very excellent. Yeah, the first wish that was born, to see the eyes of the partner.
Когда ты подошла, ты вдруг увидела, что человек испугался.
And then you stepped to him and you saw that he was alarmed by this.
Дальше ты отошла.
After this, you backed off.
Ты увидела глаза человека?
Did you see the eyes of the person?
Да.
То есть ты удовлетворила свое желание.
So you met your wish, yeah?
Да.
Что дальше?
What next?
I wanted to touch him.
I think what the Russians' gift to acting is this of finding the absolute core naked individuality of an actor first, before they presume to act anybody else, so that they have a point of reference for anything. Well, that's difficult for us to teach our actors. And I think that's the single strongest reason that I'm happy that Ilkhom is here, because they addressed that issue.
Ну и задача искусства, проникая в душу человека, преображать его и делать его лучше.
This is the task of art, is to get into the souls of people and to make them want to somehow do something better, to live better.
Трагическое,
maybe it's tragic,
комическое, просто
comedic,
мелодраматическое.
maybe it's even some melodrama. But if I see something that's so heightened and so intimate and so real, when I see the actor who can come before me and, as we've spoke about, to open and to stand before you naked. In that moment,
Подключаюсь к этой какой-то энергии.
as an onlooker, I become cleaner, yeah? Because I connect with some kind of energy here.
Ilkhom Theatre Company performed 2 plays in 5 American cities on this tour, as well as teaching college workshops. White Black Stork is a 20th century Romeo and Juliet story of 2 young Tashkent Muslims in a tragic arranged marriage.
Actually, the themes and the plots are very universal. It's about freedom of your choice, about how the traditions can overcome and break a person who wants to be free, how the conflicts between the fathers and sons happen. So there's actually eternal themes which are touched in the show.
The play is about young people trying to find their identity in this world. Young people who feel that I'm this way, I want to be this way, I want this, and I want this. And the rest of society is saying, not like this. The right way is to do this, 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 and this. This is something we can identify with.
Sedula plays the father of the young bride in White Black Stork.
I really love this performance.
Потому что мы долго его делали.
Because we made it for a long time. We took a long time creating it.
И все, и актеры, и режиссер,
and all of us, the actors, the director, the writer, we all did this together at once. And luckily, it turned out to be a good performance.
Который мы проверили уже во многих странах мира.
One that we've checked the power of in a lot of different countries around the world.
На очень престижных площадках.
On very prestigious stages.
И не было ни одного равнодушного зрителя к этому спектаклю.
And there's never been some audience members who have just been left indifferent.
That is a piece of magic, a piece of beauty.
The acting is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful.
Boris plays the father of the young husband. In these roles, both he and Sedula demonstrate the qualities they're working to teach their students.
Boris is a strong, virile, handsome, wonderful actor, and then in White Black Stork, he plays one of the fathers, and he's sort of frail, and he's tired, and he's worried, and you kind of feel like you could push him and he might fall over. And that's because every single moment he's on stage, he's committed to all the little things, all the little movement, all the little ways of speaking that add up to that kind of a performance.
Суд признает Махзума, сын Охунда, невиновным. Аминь. Аллаху Акбар.
ACT Theatre played a major part in bringing Ilkhom to Seattle, and it's at ACT that the company is performing.
The standards of their artistry, the standards of the acting, the imagination that was involved in productions where they made a great deal out of actually a very little resource. There were so many ways in which they achieved marvelous things that I thought we ought to bring this company to Seattle.
Ecstasy with the Pomegranate is set in the early 1900s in Tashkent. It's the story of a Russian painter who became fascinated with Uzbek traditions.
It centers around the artist Alexander Nikolaevich, who came from St. Petersburg with the Russian imperial military around the turn of the century, and he took up Eastern-style painting and became very actually enveloped in the culture of Central Asia. He actually converted to Islam. So here we're dealing with the Russian military is coming into Turkestan, the traditions that the people had been living with here for hundreds of years, and the view on this from both sides from this one painter who's caught in the middle.
Или могу угостить вас гранатовым соком из здешнего сада?
The historical roots of Muslim and Sufi life in Uzbekistan run very deep and are very old. And there's great beauty in some of the traditions, great meaning in some of the traditions connected with Muslim life in Uzbekistan. So these pieces are both different journeys in describing certain contradictions and values of this traditional way of life.
Ilkhom Theatre Company is dedicated to work of the highest level. Their repertoire explores themes that are controversial, deeply emotional, and sometimes politically courageous. They entertain, inspire, and challenge their audiences and each other. They are the best of what theater can be.
It is a theater that's devoted to real content and has an audience that's really interested in real content. The potentialities of the art form, both for the artists and the audience, are expressed in their work. And it serves as an inspiration to me, to my staff, to many of the artists that I work with, and hopefully we can use that to draw ourselves into better work, more meaningful work, into some kind of transcendence.